Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Just a quick check. Can everyone listen to me?
Hear you loud and clear, Elena.
Great, thank you. So welcome everyone to our webinar, Empowering Municipalities, Initiating and Planning Energy Communities from their LIFE-BECKON project. Today, we are thrilled to have you join us here as we start upon the journey to explore the world of energy communities and empower municipalities and stakeholders with the knowledge they need to initiate and plan these sustainable energy initiatives. My name is Elena Macusiari, and together with my colleagues Marta de los Rios White and Francesca Sperandio, we come from the European Network of Living Labs, and we are one of the partners involved in the LIFE-BECKON project. So this interactive first webinar that we have hosting from LIFE-BECKON marks the beginning of a series of webinars dedicated to empower municipalities and stakeholders with essential knowledge and practical insights when interested to successfully establishing, financing, and managing energy communities. So our objective for today is twofold. Is to provide municipalities with a comprehensive introduction to energy communities, focusing on key considerations for their initiation and planning. But also throughout the session, we will also showcase a series of successful use cases that would aim to inspire and guide you. Looking ahead, as I said, this is only the first webinar of the series. More informative webinars are following. So we have planned the second webinar scheduled on the 27th of March, which is delving deeper into the financing of energy communities. And we will conclude the series on the 17th of April with a webinar focusing on the successful operation and management of energy communities. Now, taking a look to the agenda for today's webinar, we will start with a brief introduction for the LIFE-BECKON project. So what is it about? What is their scope? Followed by the introduction to the concept of energy communities. We will then delve deeper into key considerations when initiating and planning energy communities. And after a short break, we will have then the presentation of the inspiring cases from the LIFE-BECKON demonstration sites and the energy community Manza Energía. Then we will have a short demonstration of what is cooking in our LIFE-BECKON one-stop shop platform that will be very soon available for you. And with this presentation, after the presentation, we will have a discussion, a fruitful Q&A session based on the presentations and based on the questions that you will have on them before closing up the webinar. Now, let me introduce you to our moderator, Edgar Basing from Climate Alliance, who will guide us and facilitate the discussion session at the very end. And of course, our esteemed speakers of the day, Alberto Danese, Ciara Giovannini, Sergio Olivero, Eric Heilsker-Lauritsen, Diana Popova, Inma Alonso Arroyo, and Alfonso Ross. And before we dive into our presentations and give our floor to the speakers, I would like to go over some housekeeping rules to ensure a smooth and enjoyable experience for all. First of all, the webinar is being recorded. It will be available also in the one-stop shop platform, as I mentioned before, to reach also a wider audience. Please keep your microphones muted when not talking to minimize the background noise. We also encourage to actively participate on this webinar, so please do not hesitate to engage with our speakers and fellow attendees using the Q&A instead of the chat box option that you have available on your screens. And last but not least, remember that we're here to share opinions and viewpoints, so please be respectful from other people's opinions. And without further ado, I will give the floor to Alberto to start with the first presentation and the introduction of the LIFE-BECKON project. Alberto, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Elena. So I'm pleased to be here and welcome you, everyone. I'm going to very briefly introduce you to the LIFE-BECKON project, which kickstarted almost a year and a half ago. And Elena, you can go further with the presentation. I guess text should appear here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to take control then. So for LIFE-BECKON project, I wanted to show you a little bit who is included in the consortium. We are quite a diverse and heterogeneous consortium starting from Spain with me, myself, representing R2M Solution. the Diputación de Ávila, which is a provincial municipality, and here we're going to have speakers from Ávila, the European Network of Living Labs in Brussels, Belgium, the city of Copenhagen, Denmark, University of Tampere in Finland, Climate Alliance from Germany, and finally We Global, Italy, and Bulgaria, Sofia with Sofia Energy. So what is the objective of LIFE-BECKON project? We've given with the mission that was to facilitate the creation, maintenance, and replication of energy communities in Europe. Quite a broad scope. I'm going to bring it down to two main missions. One is to facilitate citizens in their energy communities, which are already existing or to be created, to be defined. And on the other side, public authorities, promoters, local action groups, which want to support and facilitate communities, citizens, their local areas into embarking to this kind of projects. So this is a screenshot of what we are trying to do, but how we are trying to do it. Here you have the how. So we have, let's say, 4 ways in which we can face the problem. One is about guidance and knowledge. We've seen that information is spread, can be confusing to navigate throughout all the terms, nomenclature, and to actually exploit what's already being created through numerous amount of European projects. So what we try to do is to not to create, again, the wheel, but to take it down to a step-by-step guidance. So try to cookbook, a recipe for one A to Z, how to create, how to facilitate, how to support, how to maintain, how to operate an energy community, and how to follow up after the creation. To do this, the capacity building and the work from Enol was fundamental and instrumental. We organized surveys, we went through interviews, and we understood what are the hot topics, the main obstacles which are let's say, stopping energy communities to be created, to be facilitated, and what are the topics in which public authorities, they want to educate themselves in this mission. How do we digitalize this, and how do we convey this that we've learned and this that we've produced during LIFE-BECKON to citizens and to public authorities? The idea is a one-stop shop platform. You can see it in bottom left here. All the consortium was actively involved, especially the pilots and R2M, in trying to convey everything into a one-stop shop, one platform, one place in which you can access the step-by-step resources, the educational resources, but also the possibility to connect and to do matchmaking with similar and interested citizens in your area, or to learn from other municipalities, from other local groups, or to connect to local energy developers, to consultants, and to other figures. The 4th point, and that's the final, let's say, mission or objective of our project, is to scale this up. So once we've learned and once we've conveyed all this information to our pilots during and within LIFE-BECKON project, how can we replicate, how we can scale it up in a European focus and international focus? Well, the idea is to give technical assistance to other municipalities which are interested in kicking off, let's say, a LIFE-BECKON in their local area. We can lend access to everything that we produce, and we can adapt the one-stop shop platform, the one place digitally accessible to other local areas to replicate. So now I'm going to move further to explain a little bit more in detail, but briefly, these 4 points. So on one side, the guidance, the knowledge. We've seen that energy initiatives in general, they are at different maturity stages. Not everyone has the same knowledge, not everyone is conscious or is empowered by the same amount of knowledge. So we define maturity stages in this. Energy communities, citizens are different, of course, than public authorities, but it's not really clear, and we wanted to emphasize on this in LIFE-BECKON. Energy communities, citizens, they do need different resources than public authorities, and they do need other kind of resources than citizens. There are many already existing resources, they're spread around, so what to do? The objective here, the specific objective of guidance, was to form a roadmap, as I said before, a cookbook to create, but then upscale, implement, operate, and to facilitate bottom-up initiative coming from citizens, but also at the same time supporting tools for public authorities. So there is a match, there is a meeting in the middle ground between public authorities supported by our tools and citizens empowered by our step-by-step process. So, as again, resources are organized finally. You don't have to go in all the projects, European projects, but you can go in one place and follow our step-by-step process to go through the stages from creation to maintenance of energy community. I'm gonna fastly go to what has been done in capacity building. The team went through a survey with hundreds of respondents, interviews, identification of most hot topics, as I said before. So the thematic areas which really need capacity building, which really need educational material. And we've identified what are the stakeholders which need those material. So the objectives: training, mentoring to public authority. This is called the train the trainer approach. We're gonna give skills. We are not gonna give just tools to co-design and co-create together with your citizen energy communities. So, and to engage with interactive tools. Very briefly, what are these interactive tools? Videos, complementary slide decks. Videos and slide decks are going to be available in 8 European languages. You're going to have access to an open innovation journey. I'm sorry, my yeah, we're going to have an exploration of innovative solution in a specialized and detailed way. We're going to ask questions. We can go and study and assess what are the strengths, what are the obstacles of your particular project. And this can go in A to Z, step by step, from ideation to from conceptualization to finally design and deploy your project. And finally, webinars are going to be available to share expert insights. All this is going to be ready, accessible in one place. What I'm showing you is a little bit of images of how the one-stop shop is going to look like. I didn't mention the Opportunity Hub until now, but this is a place I'm going to show you later in which you can meet and if the slide goes on, perfect. You're gonna have a map, you're gonna meet new members, and you can explicitly publish your organization. You as an individual, you can meet other people, and we can facilitate matchmaking. Finally, the replication. So in the last, but starting from a few months ago, we tried to call for replication, and we had more than 20 municipalities interested in this kind of tools to adapt and to facilitate those mechanisms and those supporting tools to other cities. For who is directed? Municipalities, public authorities, energy agencies, and local associations. And to close, this is going to have a geographical focus in Europe and beyond that. And that's everything.
Thank you very much, Alberto. Shall we move to the next presentation? We have Sara Giovannini from Energy Cities that will go into the introduction of the concept of energy communities. Yes, please, Sarah, the floor is
Good
yours.
afternoon, everyone. Thanks a lot for having me here. I'm Sara Giovannini. I work for the city network Energy Cities. We are based in Brussels and in France, and we really support municipalities in the transition towards sustainability to make their cities greener, more livable. We work on different topics, and energy communities, community energy is one of those topics. So indeed, I'm very happy today to be here and have this discussion with you all. So indeed, my job is giving you a short introduction on this topic. I will try to be as clear and brief as possible, but do not hesitate to use the question and answer box if you have any clarification that you need. So in the Clear Energy for All European package was approved in 2019, and it recognized the role of local actors in the energy transition, citizen in particular. I say recognize because indeed the European Commission came in into this sector when stuff was already happening in different countries in Europe. So citizens and municipalities, they were more and more active in the energy sector. So indeed, as I said, the Commission came to recognize this situation and kind of ensure that this became a right for citizens and local stakeholders to take an active role in the energy sector. So what happened with this package? There is this important role in the energy transition that local actors have, and the package finally included provisions that define a new concept, that is the concept of energy communities. The Commission established two definitions. One is the definition of citizen energy community, and the other one is a definition of renewable energy community. The citizen energy community is defined as a legal entity that is based on voluntary and open participation, controlled by shareholders or members who are natural persons, local authorities, municipalities, small and medium enterprise, and also micro enterprises. Renewable energy communities is a legal entity that is also based on voluntary participation, and it is autonomous, but is effectively controlled by shareholders or members that are located in the proximity of the renewable energy projects that are owned and by this legal entity. The shareholders are natural persons, SMEs, or local authorities, including municipalities. So what happened here? Okay. Oops. Oh, I have some problem with controlling. Okay, so here we have two definitions that indicate that have some commonalities, two concepts that have some commonalities and some differences. Overall, we can say that the citizen energy community is a broader concept and that renewable energy community are one type of citizen energy community. Why? Because the citizen energy community can operate across all electricity sector, and there is no requirement of proximity. That is, the control and the location of the installation are rooted in the local context. And also in the renewable energy community, we have a focus, which is technology focus on the renewables. So to summarize, the renewable energy community, we have the focus of renewables and the fact that those communities, they control their installation, which is located in the area that they are rooted into. So it's a much more, let's say, stronger connection with the territory. But they also have some commonalities. Both are legal entities, both are focused on the collective ownership, and they have a shared governance. And they both are related, of course, to energy activities. I think one important commonalities is the primary purpose of both citizen energy community and renewable energy community, that is to provide environmental, economic, and social benefit for its member or the local areas that they are located in. So that means that the primary purpose is not financial profit. And I think this is very important. And it's kind of the element that allows you to identify immediately if a project can be defined as an energy community or if it's not. Okay. So now, why should a municipality get involved in an energy community project? Well, first of all, municipalities and energy communities, they often have a shared mission, which is they care for the territories they are located in. So they likely have shared objectives that they both work on. They can build each other capacity. So the municipality can support knowledge of the members of the community, but the community itself can also support the municipalities. And for example, we have many cases, for example, in Belgium, where energy communities supported the municipalities in, for example, developing their own sustainable energy and climate action plan. This is a very practical case. Of course, supporting an energy community allows also the municipality to progress towards their climate and energy target. But such projects, they also have what we often call collateral benefits that are not directly linked to the energy itself, but they are, of course, related. And so, for example, one is the improvement in energy efficiency that such project can bring. Another is the link with the energy poverty reduction, because such projects, they often have a social element that facilitate the reduction of energy poverty in the area where they're based, or they could allow the municipality to support some energy poor households. Another benefit is that they kind of stimulate the active citizenship. So people are more engaged, and this is very, very important for democracy overall. Another benefit is, of course, to boost local economic development, because those projects are often rooted in the local context and they contribute to job and value creation in the area. Those are all good reasons, in my view, for a municipality to get involved in community energy projects. And when it comes to municipalities getting involved, there are indeed many things that they can do. Often we have this tendency of, the moment that we think about a municipality getting involved, at least this is what happened when I was with the municipality that I was talking with in the past. Immediately the municipality think, oh, I will have to be part of a community, or I have to set up my own community. But in reality, there are really different things the municipalities can do to support energy communities in their area. One of them is creating favorable conditions by setting a target, so increasing their political ambition, so that there is more like of an environment that is a good one for these projects to be created. So citizens are motivated and they feel like they have the support of the overall political support. So this can make a big difference. Another way of creating favorable conditions can be to work on public procurement, setting criteria, for example, that facilitate the participation of energy communities to public tenders, or regulations as well. Sorry. Another way municipalities can act is really by providing a support that is more direct. We have municipalities that have been informing citizens about the potential of energy communities, or facilitating meetings with different actors that can be necessary to involve when you create energy communities, such as, for example, the distribution system operator. They have been mapping the area available in their territory, so that people know, okay, there is this roof that I could use, or even the potential of their own roofs for renewable energy. They have been giving access to public sites. I'm thinking about landfills, or even the roof of a public building, because those public sites often they become the perfect location for a community energy project, because their use tend to stay the same over time. So there is a more confidence in developing a project in those areas. Another form of direct support can also be, of course, the financing. Municipalities can also provide, for example, guarantees for the banks, so that they feel more confident in giving loans to community energy projects. And of course, then one of the ways they can support is also to be directly the owner, or to support in the management of the infrastructure, so they can really become a member of a community, or create, for example, a joint renewable energy utility. And here I have now some examples of this. So, for example, the city of Saarbrück in Germany is a great example of target setting, in the sense that in 2008, they declare this objective to become independent from the energy supplier, so that the energy for the family, the businesses, the public lighting would be based only on locally produced renewable energy by 2030. And this had a tremendous effect, because immediately people were very much stimulated to do their part. And so, for example, today we have over 400 PV systems that have been installed on the roof of private homes. So it was a very direct impact only generated by this target setting, this ambitious political target set by the municipality. Another great example that probably some of you already heard, because we talk about Valencia a lot recently because of the great work they've been doing on this topic, but also on, in general, on the energy governance. It's Valencia in Spain. They have this Climate and Energy Foundation, which is a foundation owned by the municipality. And Valencia Climate and Energy, they had a key role in setting up the first energy community of the city in the district of Castellar-Oliveral. What they did was to support the citizen, facilitate really organizing meeting, providing information. They support in the contact with the distribution system operator for the connection to the grid. They gave permission to use the rooftop of the public buildings, and they really support with the administrative procedures as well. So I think Valencia really acted on different levels. So they supported in many different ways the citizen in order to create this first community, which also had as an objective the inclusion, social inclusion, since they try to include, to make sure that the energy produced by the community is also provided to energy poor households via the quotes of the energy communities that are owned by the municipality. Now, if we go to Croatia, there is another example. Here, we're really talking about joint ownership of the energy community in the archipelagos of Cres and Losin. They created this energy cooperative to really self-manage the energy on the archipelago. And these two municipalities became members, and this is the first time in Croatia that we had two municipalities that were direct members of the energy community. So it was also a first in the country. And as a result, there was this trust immediately that was given to the energy community. So there was, all of a sudden, they were more visible, but the project was also more trusted by the citizens. So this also helped to fight, for example, opposition to installation and to renewable energy in general. So these are only three examples, but really, we have a lot more there for you. First of all, these three examples, they come from a guide that we recently developed in an EU-funded project called Scale 2030-50. They pertain to the Community Energy Municipal Guide. That is a guide we developed specifically for municipalities that want to get involved. So you will be able to find more information in this guide. But this project has an entire toolkit that was developed by different organizations, including Rescue, but also EcoPower, Energisamen. So it's a different organization that are very strong on these topics. And we have a guide on, for example, how to achieve more inclusive energy communities, a guide that is more of a step-by-step process to develop energy communities. It's the Community Energy Methodology Guide. But we also have a guide to finance energy community that tackle both the energy community side, so how to be a bit more creative in the financing of project, but also one that is more developed for banks, so that the banks can understand what are energy communities and how they can support them, and how they can be also a safe option for bank to invest in. Another resource that I think it's very timely and very appropriate for municipalities is this new accreditation scheme developed by the sister project of LIFE-BECKON, which is LIFE-Loop. Energy City is one of the partners of this project as well, together with Rescue. This project developed and just launched the first ever community energy accreditation scheme for municipalities. So I invite you to go and check this. This accreditation scheme is composed by 3 steps. One step is really the engagement, where the municipality sign a charter and commit to the objective of the scheme. And then there is a second step where there is more like a learning and mapping exercise, where the municipality can follow this online course developed by Energy Cities, which is called Espresso Training. Because it's short, so we just call it espresso, as like a shot of community energy for your municipality. Then they can take this self-assessment tracker to understand which stage are they in. And they can also put their assets on this asset matchmaking tool, so that the community know that there is some availabilities in that area for some space to be used for their installation. And at the end of the assessment of the accreditation scheme, there is a certificate that is given by the LIFE-Loop project. I think this is a very useful tool for any municipalities that wants to get involved in community energy. So indeed, here this the summary of the different steps to join, and I invite you to have a look at the LIFE-Loop website to learn more. Energy Cities also has our hub on community energy, which I have the pleasure of coordinating. So I invite you also to go and visit this hub. Here it's where we have really a collection of all the resources that we contributed to on this topic. And you can also discover our events and activities on the topic of community energy. So thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you. Shall we move to the next one? Sergio, please. Sergio Olivero will go through the key consideration when planning and initiating energy communities. Welcome, Sergio.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to share my screen. Can you see it now?
We see your desktop. Yes, now it's coming. If you please put it. Yes, perfect. Thank you.
I will show you, I will give you some information concerning Concerti project. It is an Italian best practice for energy transition. It is organized by the Hydro Consortium known by Alera Maestra. It is the biggest one in northwestern Italy. And you can also find some information on the website that is indicated in the screen. There's also an English version. Well, in Italy, a revolution is in course because of the transposition of European RED II directive. Practically speaking, renewable energy communities, or REC, are legal entities made up by energy users, producers, and prosumers, that are producers and users. We can create clusters, getting also incentives based on the sharing of electricity. The three categories of stakeholders that can be members of RECs are indicated there: user, producer, and prosumer. Well, the Italian law transposed the European RED II directive. Practically speaking, the last regulation was published on February January the 24th, sorry. So now we have now the final transposition, that is that each power plant within the community can be no bigger than 1 megawatt. Members are connected to the same high voltage substation, and all stakeholders can be members of the REC, excluding companies for which energy is the core business activity. Practically speaking, we talk about shared energy. This is an example. A building is consuming just 10 kilowatt hour, and that is 90 kilowatt per hour are fed into the grid. We can assume, for example, that two consumers are withdrawing 25 and 50 kilowatts. So the virtually shared energy is defined as the minimum between the two figures. That is, in this case, 75 kilowatt per hour, and the incentivation is made on this shared energy. The incentive is about 100 euro per megawatt hour. The first Italian renewable energy community was born in Italy, in the city of Magliano Alpi, in December 2020. You can find additional information on that link. Also, Magliano and Friends initiative was initiated clustering municipalities. Please note that starting practically from April 8th to this year, 2.2 billion euros will be made available for RECs if they are located in municipality with less than 5,000 inhabitants. There's also another example. It is the RECO-CHAIR project. In this case, it is funded with 5.4 million euros by the autonomous region of Friuli Venezia Giulia. In this case, also in this case, you can find some information on the linking to the www.recochair.eu. So we are talking about initiatives in northwestern and northeastern Italy. We can represent energy communities as an iceberg. We have the part that is visible related to incentives on shared energy, that is the directive RED II that has been transposed. But we also have the sunken part of the iceberg that is not visible today, that will come into force starting from January 25. A lot of innovation is linked to energy communities, fiscal benefit, e-mobility, especially trading, ancillary service, demand response, and so on. That is why we are, in this way, we can aim at creating bankable business plans, creating value, and sharing this value. We also must be aware that the high-level technical know-how, smart platform, and operational capacity that are necessary shouldn't be replicated for each REC. So we should not multiply management structures. That is the idea of the concept of RECOM, that is clusters of RECs managed through digital platforms with IoT, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence capacity. In this case, a RECOM can be considered a virtual energy company with low operational cost but high profit margins. This is the idea. Recom is going to get a relevant slice of the value that is going to be available in the sunken part of the island starting from next year. So this will imply the redesign of the business models of energy utilities. Legal communities aiming at addressing climate change, that is municipalities, for example, must rely upon three pillars: the legislation, economic benefits, and awareness. That is, we have the legislation, we have the money. In Italy, many fiscal benefits, non-repayable funds, and grants are today available for energy transition. For example, a private house can get from 50 to 75% tax deduction for rebuilding and retrofitting. We have incentives for share energy. We have these 2.2 billion euros on RECs. So the combination of legislation, that is, you can do it, with economic benefits, doing it as a business, is easily leading in Italy to raising awareness and changing the behavior for energy transition. RECs, renewable energy communities, are powered by digital platforms, so they represent a database capable of measuring results and giving evidence of virtuous approaches. So RECs are one of the key catalysts of effective strategies to address climate change. This is Concerti project. That is in the picture you can find one of the 22 mayors in a pipe. Why the pipe? Because the Concerti project is promoted and managed by the Irrigation Consortium, BMDS. This is a consortium that dates back to the 15th century and is moving from traditional flowing water irrigation to pressure pipes. They got 76 million euros to create the infrastructure. This will imply also the installation of 2 hydropower production, 3 hydropower power plants for a global power 2 megawatt. The consortium is a private law company owned by 16 municipalities, even if other 6 municipalities joined, so there are 22 municipalities. The consortium is creating a RECOM, as I explained before, in order to manage all RECs that are going to be activated in the area of the province of Cuneo. As you can see in the picture, we are in northwestern part of Italy near the border with France. A digital IoT, artificial intelligence platform is being developed. The test is ongoing. So practically speaking, we are building a business plan that will make a lot of money available. That is the money of incentivation for share energy, but at the same time, the money that will come from trading, from ancillary services, from demand response. That is what will happen starting from next year. That is new public-private partnership opportunities. The technical partners are the Energy Center of the Politecnico di Torino and Fabbrica Digitale, that is a private company working in the field of artificial intelligence. So thank you for your attention. I hope I stayed within the time slots assigned, and I'm going to stop the sharing of my screen.
Thank you very much, Sergio. Thank you very much. Yeah, the timing is perfect. I think we can have a very short break of 5 minutes, so we can go then to the presentation of the cases for LIFE-BECKON and then Manza Energía, and we have some more time at the end for the Q&A discussion. Thank you, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome back. We will continue with the use cases, so inspiring cases for you coming from the LIFE-BECKON project. So we have the demonstration sides of the project and also Manza Energía that will follow. I will give the floor to Eric now for presenting LIFE-BECKON demonstration sites coming from Copenhagen. Eric, please, the floor is yours.
It's unmute. So, hello everybody. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you so much. So I'm Erik Helskjær. I'm from the city of Copenhagen, working with promoting the green transition in the built environment of the residential sector. I'm going to share some experiences with energy communities in relation to the LIFE-BECKON project with you now. Thank you. So we are in this project because the citizens of Copenhagen come to the municipality and they ask us, what can we do to become more energy and climate friendly? So, and we want to engage with these active citizens and help them make the transformation of the city. We want to investigate what the potentials of the energy communities are in supporting the overall green transition of Copenhagen. We are very much into what was described as the collateral benefits of active citizenships, in particular in relation to energy communities. We want to help and engage citizens in organizing and developing collective action and agency overall in the green transition. And we see energy community as an agora where this is possible. Energy communities is a relatively new agenda in Denmark. We have very few concrete examples, and regulation is not fully implemented here either. For example, we lack tariffs of sharing of local electricity. I'm trying to, let's see. There we go, I'm changing slide now. In relation to the LIFE-BECKON project, we have set up an energy academy, Copenhagen, where we're working to strengthen our own internal organization and experimenting on how we can support various, particularly PV-related projects. Also, we are mapping knowledge, interest, and stakeholders. And we have been performing workshops, building trust and knowledge competences with our local stakeholders. All of this in order to see what are potential energy communities in the Copenhagen context. I'm going to describe energy communities in relation to both electricity, which is the most conventional understanding, and in relation to heating, quite briefly. In relation to electricity, Copenhagen is not the front runner in relation to installing PV. We are currently somewhere between 2 and 3% of our consumption of electricity, which is based on locally produced renewable energy and from solar power. And the aim is to reach 3% within the next year. The way the Danish regulation has been implemented, it's favorable to make very small energy communities inside apartment buildings, where you can share the electricity behind the main meter, and in that way avoid the quite heavy taxation on electricity sharing there is in Denmark. The municipality supports these activities with a solar map and with grants for buildings that want to retrofit with PV panels. We have an outreach activity which is about to start up from next year to supplement this. Furthermore, we have projects looking into how we can work with heating flexibility as a kind of energy community activity. Almost all of Copenhagen is on a shared district heating net, and we want to optimize this net, avoiding peak loads through centralized control of the individual buildings. This will mean that the district heating network can avoid using peak hour facilities that run off carbon-based power sources such as natural gas and diesel oil. We are developing models for financing renovation of these heating facilities in the individual buildings as part of this. Am I running out of time, Elina?
1 minute.
1 minute. That's very nice. So part of this is also to see that we need to work with a kind of meso-level governance in the city, as there is too long distance from the city hall to the individual citizens. And part of the idea of working with a one-stop shop or an energy academy, as we call it here in the city, is to have an approach that is out in the city at the district level and engages the citizens and the initiatives of the citizens at the district level. We want to engage the citizens with the agenda that is important to them, and that means, for example, that we may need to engage in a garbage waste disposal agenda first, because that may be what is important to the citizens, and we can move on from there to the heating cellar and eventually to photovoltaics. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Eric. For our audience, in case of any questions for any of the speakers that followed before, please don't hesitate to put them on the Q&A box, and we will move to the next speaker.
Hello, do you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm glad to be here and to present you our demo site in Sofia. But before starting, I would like to tell you several words about our organization. Sofia, it is a non-governmental organization, and it was established in 2001 under the SAFE2 program of the European Union. Among the founders of our organization is actually Sofia Municipality, the biggest municipality in Bulgaria. One of the main goals of our organization is to support municipalities all around the country in their energy efficiency and renewable energy sources policies, and to help them implement the national energy policies on local level. Just to see how to change the slides. Okay. Yes. So we are a partner here in BECKON project, and one of our goal is actually to help and establish the so-called solar garden, an energy community on the territory of the Sofia municipality, which includes 24 local administrations and 22 villages around the big city. So we're in a process of searching a place where we can actually establish this energy community. What we have done up to now is actually we opened our technical assistance office here in Sofia in November 2023. And up to now we have about 10 emails from different citizens from the city. They were received here on our email address. For the last month and a half, actually, we were visited a lot of municipalities around the country, and we have tried to present the BECKON project. It was under another initiative about organizing training activities for municipalities for energy management services, actually. And for up to now, we have about 4 confirmation from municipalities that would like to become replicators in our project. This here you can see actually one of our training sessions in Sapareva Banya. It was last month, and here you can see this is a geyser. It's a hot water spring that is actually the hottest in Europe. It is 103 degrees Celsius. And it is a very good example of a municipality that possesses a renewable energy source and that is suitable for actually being a replicator and established energy community on its territory. Actually, what I can say about this spring, here is information about it. It was discovered in 1957, and it actually, the water comes from 73 meters under the ground. It is really a very impressive one. And at the moment, actually, a lot of buildings on the territory of this town using this hot water for heating. All municipal buildings like cultural center, kindergarten, school, also the municipality, the building of the municipality, they're using this hot water for heating. On their territory also there are 2 solar parks established last year, and they also would like to use them and to include them in their for their citizens. And the last thing that I would like to say for this municipality is actually from the last month, they have this energy management unit in their structure of the municipality, and we would like to integrate actually the technical assistance office services within this unit and within this structure. And the last one, what we're trying to do now, we will organize our training in April, and we will continue to support the municipality replicators and also participate in some third-party events in Vidin, Koto, and other cities. And we will try to establish this solar garden. So that was from me. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Diana. We can move to the next one so we can have the time for the Q&A at the end. Please, our colleagues from the demo side from Ávila, we have Alfonso, Inma, and Crisopal from the Diputación de Ávila. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Alfonso, and I will be presenting along with my colleagues Inma and Cristobal. So just let me make sure I can move the slides. Okay. All right. So here in Ávila, in Diputación de Ávila, we are one of the pilot of the projects in the LIFE-BECKON project, as you may know. And as a result of this project, we are setting up an office, an assistance office, to assist everyone in the province of Ávila to set up an energy community. Well, it was already explained what is an energy community in much more detail that we have here, so I'll keep going. So this is one of the presentations that we show municipalities when we travel to expose, which is one of the tasks we are realizing as the technical office. And here in Spain, you can, well, of course, you have to set up a legal entity to make an energy community. And every kind of legal entity is allowed in Spain. But by far, the most common here are cooperatives and associations. Cooperatives is a bunch of individuals joining to form a special kind of society. So it's similar to an association, but it holds more integrity for each individual. So we're visiting a lot of municipalities, and so far we've gathered interest by 10 energy communities in the province of Ávila. One of them is already functioning, so we're having some progress in there. But yes, and we have for next week 3 more energy communities to visit. So that's we'll be having a portfolio of more energy communities in the future. I don't know if you want to add anything, Cristobal, to...
Yes, just to say that recently, in the last 2 weeks, Diputación de Ávila has attended to different activities and seminars here in the province, showing what we're trying to do, because we are now trying to make use of a TEO that we established here in Ávila in last October, and Inma is in charge of this TEO that he is working with municipalities and trying to set up finally one of the 8 municipalities of the 8 energy communities that have shown interest in being established, but there is only one that is being constituted so far. So now in the next few months, what we're trying to do is to visit and pushing those that there are still trying to be a consistency energy community. But the rural areas in Ávila, there are a lot of work from here to try to show what is an association and what is a cooperative, which is hard to demonstrate them, that in the rural areas that they have approached, how to approach them, how to be financed, because the municipalities have problems to be financed, and so in other words, there are a lot of different factors that affect to this constitution of a local of an energy community. So we're trying to simplify the process. We are visiting most of them. We are trying to be, and actually the Diputación have been included in the province press, showing what these events are going to be and how those events already have been done. And so there are a lot of information and media activity so far. But yes, we are kind of delayed in trying to put together a good commercial and market activity, because the information spread is kind of difficult here in the province.
Thank you very much, Cristobal. We'll need to wrap this presentation so we can move to the next. Manza Energía will be the next case, the next energy community example that we want to showcase to you. Alberto will do the presentation, and this will follow up by the teaser for the LIFE-BECKON one-stop shop platform mentioned at the beginning. So you can, Alberto, take the lead also on that already directly.
Thanks a lot, Elena. So, welcome again, Alberto Danese from R2M Solutions Spain. I didn't have the chance before to present briefly what is the work of R2M Solution, but this is the case for this presentation, since I wanted to show you a little bit what is our accumulated amassed experience with energy communities. Just to mention, we have more than 20 municipalities and more than 25 pilots and 7 European or national projects. So we've accumulated in the last few years experience on site with what it is to engage, to create, to maintain energy communities, both from a social perspective and from a technical engineering perspective. Talking about these perspectives, I wanted just to mention 3 main dimensions in which we act. One is the design, in which the regulation, the governance, the legal side is faced. Of course, we have all the engineering team going into the sizing and simulation, techno-economic analysis, and environmental and social analysis. The implementation, so here it's really priority of R2M and our project to engage into participatory processes, into co-creation, into have a table horizontally with citizens, which actually they are the one deciding for what they want. The technological solution then emerges from a bottom-up process, starting from the ideas and the concept of the citizens. And finally, the operation. Here we have, again, a mixture between social and energy engineering, technical expertise to operate and maintain, but also to go a little bit farther and to do the renewable energy community that before Sergio Olivero was explaining, so in terms of demand response and so on. I wanted to talk to you then of one particular use case in Spain from R2M called Manza Energía. So in this, very briefly, it's about 3 things. One is about an energy community. Another one is about an educational center, a primary school, which we call it educational community, and the energy office. So these 3 things. From March 2022, I wanted just to show you the timing. It was quite fast. From March until May, the energy office kick-started. We started the participatory process. The installation was finalized in July. And finally, at the end of the year, the constitution of the association was done. So an energy community was born in less than 9 months. What we've done here, participatory process as a priority, as the starting point for the conversation, to try to conceptualize and to empower citizens to share experience bottom up. So we had a workshop to create a community and to understand, identify here, energy poverty is interesting, identify vulnerable families and buildings to help and to include in this local project. An engine group was chosen. Here are the people who are going to give time and effort to prepare the legal stuff and all the documentation to actually create the energy community, and finally formalize the association and create the legal entity. So energy party was thrown, people were happy, and let's go to the facility. Let's go to explain what is this project about. So we have a public building on the left. It's called Polideportivo, so a sports center from the municipality. And this shares the space for a PV installation. The PV installation is still property of the municipality, but the energy that is produced goes also to the primary school, the Colegio Virgen de Peña Sacra, in the families that were recognized among energy poverty, included in the energy poverty identification. So part of the energy goes into these 2 initiative and dimension. And also we've been installing not only PV panels, but also EV chargers and batteries to facilitate flexibility services and to exploit at the maximum the energy. So finally, what we could do, we could help 15 households in vulnerable situations, decreasing their energy by 80%. So it's different for these people. At the same time, part of the energy goes into the educational community I mentioned before. I'm just going to skip this so we take it fast. What I'm talking about here is a primary school, is inclusion of kids in the range of age between 6 and 12, which are climatically very conscious about climate, but they don't get to have empowerment and decision making. So what we've done is to go with them and to actually understand what could be done in their school. And the project is called 50-50 because all the energy that during that year kickstarted Manza Energía, they could reduce through their active and virtuous behavior. They could get actually money because of the energy efficiency measure to kickstart a project in the school voted by the kids. And the other 50% of the energy efficiency cost savings could go into energy efficiency measures, so increasing the thermal comfort, for example, of schools. Finally, energy office. What we mean by this, it's a physical office in which energy expert could assist. We had the possibility to leverage a European project, in this case, Lightness, to finance this PV installation and know everything connected with it. But what about the others? So we have an office in which we can explain and give opportunity to other citizens to join the existing energy community created, but also to kickstart new projects. And here people are, more than 100 of people were assisted just in the first 4 months from where the energy office was created. So more and more people are currently helped and supported. And that was everything from my side.
Thank you very much, Alberto. I think we can already move ahead with the platform. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So I have 2 things. One could be to show you directly my screen. I would actually prefer this, if you don't mind, Elena.
Yes, go ahead.
Amazing. Okay, I think you should be able to see my screen now. So what I'm showing you is a very teaser. I'm not gonna go into detail or show you too much of what we have prepared and what's currently available. This is our website. This is our landing page, which we explain our hubs and the offering, the value proposition of what we are trying to deliver you. And so, as I've shown you before, we have a guidance hub, which in which you can look at resources, a training hub in which you can look at videos and educational material, finally, an opportunity hub in which you can connect and do matchmaking with other citizen and local public authorities. So I wanted to maybe give you a little bit just a screenshot of what we have inside. So the 3 hubs, our consortium, you can contact us anytime. And this is just the list of the database of all the resources we've collected. You can filter them and go through them by yourself, or I'm not going to show you the cookbook and the step-by-step guidance. Here you have the training hub in which you have several videos in several languages you can have a look at. I'm just going to briefly show you at super speed what is the kind of content you're gonna find here in a very captivating way. Thanks and all for all the hard work into putting this up. And finally, the matchmaking, the opportunity hub. So for now, we've worked with Copenhagen in Denmark, Ávila in Spain, and Sofia in Bulgaria that we've explained before. For example, if I want to join initiatives in Copenhagen, I'm a citizen, I'm a local authority, I'm an renewable energy developer, I can access the Copenhagen hub and the Copenhagen community, digital community. And here, what I'm gonna find is, let's say I'm gonna find the ecosystem of organization already present there. So I'm gonna find the Municipality of Copenhagen, I'm gonna find consultants, energy communities, or for now, you're gonna see few names and few organizations, but don't worry, we're gonna open this and kickstart this so you can actually join and see more names. So in the map, you're gonna see all the businesses, public authorities, and consultants or renewable energy developers. You can directly contact members, and you can have several documents which can facilitate all this. Plus, we're gonna let you create a matchmaking and events or kickstart events for you to meet people because of a thematic area which is interesting to explore, or for example, we can make several matchmaking based on some roles. Can we unite all the investors or all the renewable energy developers in Copenhagen? Well, we can do that, and so people, they can enter into the conversation, learn, ask, and do the matchmaking, so their community can be kickstarted, and the municipality can give this platform in order to facilitate this complex process. And that was everything from my side.
Thank you very, very much, Alberto. Yes, now, thank you very much. So this was the last presentation from all our speakers. So we'll invite now Edgar to start with the discussion. Thank you very much, Edgar, once again for moderating this session. We'll leave the floor to you. There is, I think, one question in the chat box, and then you can continue from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And well, then let's start with Ricardo's question from the Q&A part here. So the question is, maybe Diana or anybody else from you as the speakers can answer this question. By which criteria did you define who is affected by energy poverty? How did you assure that all the stakeholders felt comfortable subsidizing energy for the vulnerable energy poverty affected households? Maybe some of you have developed some ideas on that and would like to answer it. Yes, Diana?
A strange question about the poverty.
Very strange question about the poverty. Very strange question about the poverty.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a minute, because we're using two types of
it works,
technical
Diana.
devices.
Now it works. The echo has vanished now. Okay.
Yeah. Do you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we in our technical assistance office, actually, we divided three different sections for energy poverty, for energy management, and for energy communities. And about the energy poverty, I can say that, here in Bulgaria, we have a lot of people that are suffering, and we're trying to help them to give advice. We unfortunately can't give them money or support financially, but all type of support, we're trying actually to give them advice how to save energy, how to renovate their houses if they want, and if they have enough resources for that. So we do not choose them or anything else to help.
I would like to add concerning the energy poverty.
Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt, Diana and Nadia. Welcome.
We provide additional devices.
It would be maybe easier if you close your camera, because we're losing your audio. Maybe it would be better without your camera.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and our office assists energy poor people in advising how to substitute their old heating devices with a new energy saving devices. We are doing it in connection with another program for energy energy saving in the country, but we provide a lot of visits and additionally provide consultancy on this issue.
All right. Then thanks a lot, Diana. And anybody else? So I think this was now the only question we had in the Q&A chat here. So I would kind of ask you something which I think is maybe interesting for all of you.
I'm sorry, Edgar. There is a thing heads up in case you don't see it.
Okay, yeah, then please, okay, Alberto, please.
Yeah, I wanted to add up on what Diana and Nadia were answering about the energy poverty. Me personally, I've been collaborating with the Energy Poverty Hub, Advisory Hub for the European Commission. There is quite some documentation, and it's difficult to tackle down and to define energy poverty in general for Europe, for example. And indeed, there are indicators at national level, and they go even more specific than that in terms of climate, facilities or housing, mobility, the socioeconomic aspect, the ability to access to electrification. So in terms of the energy poverty, let's say literature or definition that can be used, what we do is to use the recommendation from the European Commission studies and to adapt the definition to the state in which we are operating. But of course, there are some bottom-up specific conditions which only the citizens on site know. And energy poverty is quite a wide and heterogeneous definition that can't be really tackled down in one single, let's say, line. But just wanted to say the complexity, we're trying to face it through all this literature studies. I'm just going to share with you the energy poverty database, which has all sorts of national indicators to understand, address, and include energy poverty in energy actions.
All right, thank you, Alberto. So now, with regard to the time, I don't know, we have 3 more minutes still. Marta or Elina, what do you think? Can we?
Yes, you can proceed. In 3 minutes, we can wrap up. Thank you.
In 10 minutes?
In 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes, all right. So maybe one last question. What I found really interesting was in the Manza Energía example, there is a kind of connection also to the education sector. And I also learned from Eric's presentation that social housing is sometimes involved in these projects, energy community projects. Could anybody of you a little bit explain how important synergies are between, say, the technical assistance office and also other departments in municipalities, and how you really put them into practice in your municipalities to get kind of a much more participation, more acceptance, and also better funding for your initiatives in your municipalities. Maybe Eric, or I don't know, maybe somebody else who's also kind of collaborating with other departments and municipalities in energy communities topics may give some answers to that.
Thank you, Edgar. I think I have at least a brief answer to this, which is that we have the green transition can be a top-down process planned by the big institutional actors of society, or green transition can be something about engaging citizens and bringing them on board and giving them agency to participate. And an activity like the Beckon project and how we work with the one-stop shop is definitely on the bottom-up side of this type of processes. Trying to organize the municipality to be more aware, to have better ears towards the citizens.
Okay, great. Thank you. So now we must close our Q&A session. And I think we've learned a lot today. We had this introduction to energy communities, definition of citizens' energy communities, renewable energy communities. Also, Sarah gave us some insight into the ways of municipal support for energy communities, starting from favorable conditions till joint ownership. For example, create a joint utility in your municipality. Then we had Sergio with his Concerti project, and also some interesting details how the Renewable Energy Directive is transposed into Italian law, and how important favorable conditions in terms of a sound legal basis, financial benefits, and also a rising awareness are for the creation of energy communities. We had Eric's Energy Academy in Copenhagen, which is still a little bit struggling to establish PV projects, because this is wasn't really on the agenda in Denmark by now. But the colleagues there are making big processes now with their technical assistance office and the Energy Academy. And Diana, you also told us about the integration of the technical assistance office in the Sapareva Bank town, and that kind of you spread your knowledge to other municipalities and to enable them to support energy communities. And then Alfonso, you also explained as the legal entities which are possible in your Ávila region, rural area, and what you do to support your municipalities and your energy communities there. And then finally, Alberto, you showed us your one-stop shop and this useful tool for not only people or actors who are engaged in energy community development, but also for municipalities who plan to create a technical assistance office, and the wonderful Manza Energía example, which was really with a kind of nice picture, shows how the citizens can really be involved into this process. So thanks a lot to all of you, and also of you, the audience, and of your interest in our first webinar now of LIFE-BECKON with how to start an energy community. And well, maybe Elina, you will say a few final words. Thank you all.
Thank you very, very much once again. Thank you, of course, Edgar, for moderating the discussion. Of course, all our speakers that joined us and shared all their valuable insights and experiences. Thank you also, all of you that joined today. We hope that it was as fruitful as it was for us, and also inspiring session for you. Please don't forget that we have 2 more upcoming webinars. You can, using the QR code, or visit the LIFE-BECKON's or our social media and all social media on LinkedIn, because more information will follow up on the registration. Again, the dates 27th of March and 17th of April. We hope to see you again there. Thank you very, very much again, all of you, for joining. I wish you a nice afternoon. Thank you.
Have a nice afternoon.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.